Hey, it's John. Welcome back to the show. And today, an album review. On today's show, I will review the latest album by power pop legends Cheap Trick. This album came out on November 14, 2025. This is Cheap Trick's 21st studio album entitled All Washed Up. This was released on BMG Records. This is the follow up to Cheap Trick's previous album, 2021's In Another World. Now, All Washed Up. This is a like an inside joke or Cheap Trick washed up. They've been around 50 years, 21 studio albums, a ton of live albums, thousands of live shows. Is the band washed up? Stay tuned and I'll tell you how I feel. Now, here's the album cover and here's the back. If you look at this, we have the titles of the songs here, and we have all the Cheap Trick vinyl in a clothes basket. One of many references on here to the term washed, just as we have with these 4 washing machines, each for the individual members of the band, which I will go into while I go through the packaging. Here's the packaging, what you're going to get. You're going to get the booklet here, and you get the CD in this cardboard case. We got a folded up Cheap Trick t-shirt on the front, and on the back, we get what I presume to be Rick Nielsen's dirty Cheap Trick socks, because the checkered pattern is for Rick Nielsen. The CD comes out of the case here. There we go. Here is the CD. And as far as the booklet, we get more of the same with the vinyl in the clothes basket. And we have the lyrics here. Red font for the titles, smaller white font for the lyrics. Here's more lyrics here. We got 11 tracks, just over 40 minutes. And we get the credits. The musicians on this album are Rick Nielsen on guitars and backing vocals, Robin Zander on vocals and guitar. They have been with the band since the beginning, and they have stayed the entire 50 years or so. Tom Peterson on 12-string bass and vocals. Tom was there at the beginning. He left before the one-on-one album in 82. He came back in 88 for Lap of Luxury, and he's been there since then. We got Dak Nielsen on drums. He's Rick Nielsen's son. He has played on every album from Bang Zoom Crazy Hello till now. So this is his 4th studio album. We have Robin Taylor Zander on guitars and vocals. Robin Taylor Zander is Robin Zander's son. He is part of their live band as well. So when you go to see Cheap Trick now, and I saw them last year, they're a quintet. They're no longer a quartet. And when I saw them, Robin Taylor Zander as RTZ, not to be confused with the band from the 90s, he opened a show and he did an acoustic set. Guest musicians, Tom Bukovac on guitar, Tim Lauer on keyboards, Robin Sailor Zander on backing vocals, and Julian Raymond on backing vocals. All these songs are original songs. So let's get into the tracks on All Washed Up. How does this sound? Okay, if you've heard any of the more recent Cheap Trick albums that have been produced by Julian Raymond, they're recorded a little hot. Loud, like loudness wars hot, but maybe not quite that loud, not like we were getting with a lot of 2000s albums, but they are recorded hot in various degrees. This, I think, might be recorded the hottest out of all of them, to the point where it does take a little bit to get used to, particularly if you're just getting into these albums after just being a fan of their 70s albums, or maybe the albums that sold really well that were more corporate rock, like Lap of Luxury or Busted. the song craftsmanship is still here. There is more focus on melodic songs than hard hitting bangers. There's only 3 songs on here I would say really hit hard. But again, their knack for hooks are still here. Robin still sounds great. He's not hitting those super highs like he did on If You Want My Love for One on One, for example, but that was 43 years ago. But when he stays in that mid range and when he goes high, but not too high, he sounds just like he always has. Dax and Tom still sound great as a rhythm section. Rick Nielsen's still giving us some good hooks, some good guitar lines. Maybe not guitar lines that you're going to remember forever, like on their best material, but still solid guitar player. All the songs are good. Not too many great ones here, in my opinion, but no duds either. All Washed Up is the hardest hitting track on the album. It's the title track. And at first, it doesn't really sound like Cheap Trick because it's heavy for Cheap Trick. And Robin is singing in a much lower voice until the pre-chorus kicks in. It's a good opener, but it sounds like it could have been recorded by a lot of other bands. All Wrong, Long Gone. Now, this is more the Cheap Trick, the melodic, mid-tempo Cheap Trick that we know and love. This is very, very good. We got a nice pre-chorus on here, a wonderful chorus. Robin sounds great on it. Very strong track. The riff that won't quit hits hard. That one they have a video out for. I know they've released a few other songs here as videos. This one hits one of the harder hitting tracks on the album. Cool riffs on it. Very good. Bet It All is slower. The riff on here it's closer to a doom metal riff without the distortion. But it's cool. It's the slowest song on the album, but it has a lot of punch to it. It's very good. The Best Thing is the best song on the album to me. If you're a fan of the Beatles-esque pop side of Cheap Trick, you'll love this song. This song I love from the get-go. Has this majesty about it that really, really works well. Very memorable lyric, memorable melodies. Robin sounds elegant, like an angel, angelic on this. Very, very well done. Love this song. 12 Gates. This is more of the melodic, closer to pop than rock sound of Cheap Trick at this point. This I like, I don't love. Bad Blood, I think at another time or place, this could have been a hit single just as The Best Thing could have been. Bad Blood is very, very memorable. We got wonderful melodies on here. Again, great vocal performance from Robin. It's very memorable, great melodic power pop. More emphasis on pop. It's very good. Dancing with the Band is probably the last song on here that really rocks hard. It's very, very upbeat with those oohs and that lead off the choruses, or I'm sorry, the verses on here. We have a lot of songs like this on the latter day albums that have these little vocal hooks that bring you in that are more akin to pop music, but still it rocks like hell. It's cool. Love Gone. This is another mid-tempo melodic, more pop than power song on here. This works very well. It's got a very nice chorus on it. Long Way to Worcester. This is slower, but it's got more of a spookier feel to it. It does rock. It has a great vocal from Robin on here. He stays more in his mid-range. This is very, very cool. This is one of the highlights of the album, in my opinion. Wham Boom Bang. This is the closer. The loud production is shut down here. This is very, very cool. Very, very sparse lyrically. It sounds a bit like a throwaway, but it's still pretty catchy, and it's short. Cool way to end the album. So my favorite songs on here would definitely be The Best Thing and Bad Blood. These are just power pop bliss, full of great hooks, great melodies. Robin sounds great. The Riff That Don't Quit is very, very catchy. Dancing with the Band's very good. Long Way to Worcester is very good. So, Cheap Trick, all washed up. Are they still washed up? Are they washed up at all? No. Is it a great album? I wouldn't say that. I would say it's a good Cheap Trick album. Nothing on here is bad. You got a few very, very good songs. I don't know if we're going to call these classic songs down the road. I prefer the few albums before this more because they rocked a little harder. I thought the songs were better overall. There was a little more variety on albums like Bang Zoom Crazy Hello and We're All Right and In Another World. I thought those albums, particularly those last two before this one, I thought they were real bangers. They are in the top half of my favorite Cheap Trick albums. And I have all the studio albums except for the Christmas album. But as it is, Cheap Trick all washed up, I give this a 7 out of 10. If you like the modern day, the latter Cheap Trick albums from Rockford forward, you'll enjoy this, but it doesn't rock as hard. Robin still sounds great. It still has that Cheap Trick sound most of the time. It is recorded a little loud, so that's just something you have to be prepared for going in. So what I always like to say these days, listen before you buy. Check this out on Spotify. Check it out on Amazon Music if you have a subscription there. Or you can check this out on YouTube. I have a link to Cheap Trick's YouTube page here. You can listen to this album there as well as a lot of their other albums. So, as it stands, check it out before you buy it. I'd give this a 7 out of 10. So, what do you think of Cheap Trick's music? And have you heard All Washed Up? And what, if you have heard it, what do you think of it? What do you think are the best songs on here? What do you think of the recording of this album? Do you think it should have been a little longer? I think that the fact that they're getting back to these 40-minute albums again, I think is wonderful. I think albums in a power pop vein or in a rock vein should stay in that 40-minute time frame there, like we had in the 70s and 80s. You know, you don't want to overstay your welcome. This certainly does not do that. Please let me know in the comments what you think of Cheap Tricks, All Washed Up. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Do what you love, and I'll talk to you soon.